Welcome to XBI Podcast.
Mr. Worldwide.
Are we live?
Yes.
We're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Xbox International. I am your host, the sexy one, the crazy one, the sexy fat version of Henry Cavill, the crazy one, Crazy Louis. Yeah. Everybody, I'm excited today. We have a lot of awesome subjects to go through, but first, let's introduce this awesome, beautiful panel. Let's start with my brother, my enemy, my Will Wheaton, Mr. Joanna Dark. So go ahead and introduce yourself, buddy.
Hey, what's up? It's Mr. Worldwide. As you can see, I got to make sure, Silent Cypher recognizes that. But anyway, I can't barely see. Let me put my glasses on, Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm so excited because I have 68.7 billion reasons why I'm excited, and I wonder why.
Oh, 68.8. I mean, I got 70 reasons. 70. Well, I got a lot more though, because I'm always excited. I mean, I'm never come down. I'm always jumping. I'm always taking showers. Always, getting on icy and all that stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
we know you were taking a shower right before the show because I
Oh yeah, we know. Yeah, I mean, I put it on Twitter. I was singing that Eminem song. We back. Yeah. Guess who's back? But anyways, now let's introduce my other brother, Mr. Silent Cypher. Introduce yourself, buddy. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. It was a long work day, so I'm super excited to be here with you guys. Talk some gaming. Talk about those 69 billion reasons. Yeah. But no, I'm just excited to be here with you guys. This is always a great breakup for the middle of the week. Kind of make things a little bit nicer. We're going downhill now for the rest of the week. We're almost to the weekend. I can't wait.
Oh man, I mean seriously, this week I started hot and it's getting hotter by the minute. Oh man. And now to introduce my other brother who his nickname used to be Peluca. Now he got an awesome haircut and now he looks a lot sharper and a lot lighter. My brother, Sour Blow. Introduce yourself, buddy. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Excited to talk about the topics for today. And wow, it's still like surreal. Like I still can't believe what just happened. It's incredible.
Man, I'm telling you, I mean, this has been an amazing week. I mean, it's like how it started. I mean, remember we started on the chat that yesterday morning, and I was doing my exercise. I mean, I had my cool boxer shorts on and my tennis shoes. I was doing jumping jacks, and my brother Diego sends this message. And he's like, acquisition thing is happening. I was like, what? No, this can't be. So I sent it to you guys. You guys are like, nah, that's not true. It's like, dude, I have a feeling. I have a feeling. Ooh, I had that feeling. And all of a sudden, 2 minutes later, man, we got Phil Spencer saying, we have just acquired Activision Blizzard. Oh my God, guys. I mean, that was big. And yesterday, I mean, Twitter got big. It got huge. It's whoa. It was amazing. Yesterday, Twitter was everybody banging, everybody happy.
Would you say it's a red wedding type of situation?
It's a what?
A red wedding? Have you ever seen Game of Thrones?
So
look up the red wedding and just then we can talk about it afterward.
Don't do that. Watch Game of Thrones.
I'm not gonna watch Game of Thrones because I watched the last episodes and I wasn't happy about it.
Yeah. If you haven't watched it yet, you've missed the boat.
Yeah, you gotta watch the series though.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Spencer, the true king of the north.
Oh, I mean, I'll tell you something. I mean, I just finished watching Cobra Kai, and I've been like, yeah, I've been doing Karate Kid moves these past couple of days. I've been jumping around I tried to do a split, but man, that did not go well. I mean,
are you done with Cobra Kai? Are you done?
Oh yes, I am done with Cobra Kai. Hell yeah, Cobra Kai.
Started it, so no spoilers.
I think
you haven't started.
I think this was the best season, actually.
Yes, it was.
I'm watching this show on HBO called The Righteous Gemstones it's with John Goodman and oh my God, I forgot his name. He did Tropic Thunder. Something Daniel McBride. think Danny McBride.
McBride.
Hilarious show.
Danny
It makes it's about a lot of the Southern Baptists and the shows you see on the weekends with churches and everything, and his family is like the top of the they're called the Gemstones, and it's like top notch comedy and like.
Ooh, I got. Is Southern Baptist? I mean, you talk about they talk like this, Southern talking. Oh man, I gotta watch that show. Is there a lot of food? I love Southern food. Is there a lot of food? Yeah, I love that.
There
stuff,
is.
Man. I miss my Southern food, man. Oh, that chicken. Well, guys, we got important subjects to talk tonight. I mean, guys, let's start. That today, I mean, fresh out of the oven, all of a sudden today, we have two awesome interviews. I mean, one was from Jeff Grubb, which I'm gonna let Joanna Dark take care of this because I mean, right now I just sat down and he was telling me about it. I said, whoa, I missed it because I've been a little bit busy on work, but I actually read the other one that was from Dean Takahashi. Is it right? That's his name, right? Dean Takahashi? Yes, yeah. I got it. Yes, I got it. But yeah, Dean Takahashi. So yeah, Joanna, take over for a minute and tell us about that Jeff Grubb interview with Bobby Keaton. Is it Keaton? Kotick. Bobby Kotick.
Yeah, we all know already. Everyone talked about it yesterday. That big bomb that dropped. Microsoft acquiring Activision, and Jeff Grubb wrote a really good article on GamesBee. I would definitely go ahead. I'm going to read a couple of sentences here and there to kind of throw some of the things that stood out to me, and then you guys can definitely go over there, give it a like, and read. And I thought it was good. It provides more context. I know there's been a lot of talks, a lot of articles here and there claiming this and left and right, but I thought this was a good one. And it starts off here with the title, Activision tapped out Call of Duty and didn't know what to do next. Activision's biggest problem is that it had no obvious vector for growth. Over the course of the pandemic, Activision's revenue grew, and the publisher responded by reinvesting into Call of Duty. That continued a trend where instead of a single annual Call of Duty product launch, the publisher peeled out parts of that product into a free-to-play battle royale shooter and a mobile version. All of these parts are successful, but they are also all likely encouraging an upward climb in terms of growth. The pandemic seeing occasional stutters, and gaming can no longer rely on people stuck at home to turn to their consoles and phones. So the only way to truly ensure bigger returns for Call of Duty is to put a lot of development effort into improving the games. Mm-hmm. This is the biggest problem for Activision. The industry is flush with cash for senior developers that want to leave to join other studios to start their own. Mm-hmm. That talent is often choosing to skip over Activision and its headline, attracting toxic work environment.
Can I cut in real quick?
Sure.
Salblo, do you remember the interview we have with Diana? She actually mentioned this. She actually mentioned how people are leaving the big companies to start small ones. Remember that?
Yes. Yeah, she did.
Yeah, she did mention that. That's actually a good point. I mean, it's incredible how Jeff Grubb nailed that. When Diana, how many months ago was it? 1 month ago?
It was
that we had the interview.
I think it was like 2 months ago.
2 months ago, she actually said the same thing, that people are actually leaving big companies to start small studios. That's actually pretty interesting that Jeff Grubb is talking about that. Yeah, so keep going, man.
It is difficult to make bigger and better games every year with fewer and less experienced developers. This is where Activision traditionally would have turned to Blizzard to fill in the gap, but it's facing a potentially grimmer future. World of Warcraft, the once dominant massive multiplayer online game, is bleeding subscribers with no end in sight. A similar exodus of talent due to an equally hostile work environment, reportedly, has forced Blizzard to delay the release of Diablo Immortal, Diablo 4, and Overwatch 2. Activision is in a deep hole, and the current leadership did not want to dig its way out. But don't feel bad for them. This was all too predictable. Activision's creative model was only ever possible in an industry where talent was so abundant and willing to sacrifice that they would put up with low pay and frat boy leadership. It is not a coincidence that the company's disintegration accelerated the moment the pandemic caused the labor market to tighten up. So this was very important. And there's a couple of parts that we can break this down, right? The first thing we want to know is vector growth, right? You have this product in Call of Duty, but besides making so much money, how can you continue to grow it to kind of keep up with the demand, right? Next, I would say is they did everything to spread it across to people. Yeah. But the problem was just like what we were seeing with a lot of studios that are trying to hire, and you saw on things that are happening, is that the talent, and the fact that the talent doesn't want to be there because the culture at the time was reportedly toxic. And we, from the allegations that we've heard over everything that's happened up to the point that Microsoft, has acquired them. There's other people, like you were saying, in the gaming lobby when you had Diana. They rather go and start a studio where they can build their culture and work the way they want to and have their creative freedom. And we all saw how they consolidated everything into Call of Duty. They took Toys for Bob. They took all these studios they had, and they literally told them, hey, you're just going to be a Call of Duty machine. And at the end of the day, Blizzard being you would think with a lot of support and stuff they've done, people were leaving left and right as well. What are your thoughts on this, Crazy Lou? Since I know you had, a developer like Diana on there, and what are your thoughts on this so far? What Jeff Grubb said with this?
I mean, I remember when we had the interview with Diana 2 months ago. She was explaining on the pressure, how investors put a lot of pressure on games to come out quick and games to come out fast and games to come out good. Remember that, Sarah Bro? She was talking about that.
Yes.
And the point is that all this pressure is, especially right now in the pandemic, the situation on the pandemic is it's not going too well for them. So what they're doing right now is leaving and putting small studios. So yeah, they can have all less pressure on them and work nice and easy and make their games and their ideas flow. Because I mean, seriously, it's a lot of pressure on them, especially on the Call of Duty guys. I mean, it's year after year, year after year, year after year. We're getting Call of Duty Vanguard, Call of Duty flush toilets, Call of Duty jumping up and down, Call of Duty get naked and run around. It's always something with Call of Duty every year.
What Call of Duty were you playing? Where
it's an example though, but it's always a new Call of Duty thing, and so every year's with Call of Duty, when those other teams can be working on something else, and they can actually just leave Call of Duty the way it is, the state it is. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, it's like Battlefield. Battlefield's gone to a point. You can't make any, like, where else are we going to go Battlefield, Rick? What are you going to do? Make Battlefield with gears or, I don't know what else you can put into Battlefield right now. So I like the idea. What they did is they grabbed Battlefield and they're just going to keep on adding stuff to that 2042. So yeah, it's actually a good thing. And they should do that with Call of Duty. I mean, for example, look at this Vanguard. When Vanguard came out, I was telling myself, I was saying, why go back again to World War II? I mean, why are we going back to this? We need to keep on just keeping you guys have Warzone and you guys have Black Ops. What was it? What was this new one? Black Ops before that? Was it Black Ops? The last one?
Cold War. You
it was
Cold
War.
It was
Cold War.
Yeah, Cold War.
It was a confusing name. It was a little bit over top, but it was Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War.
Cold War. Okay. So why just call this one Modern Warfare and just keep on, or Modern Warfare Infinite, like Halo Infinite, and just keep adding stuff and just have a team work on it. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. After I read all these interviews, I understand what was Activision going through, and I'll be honest with you, for me, it was a good place to sell. I mean, it was a good idea for them to sell because they were just doing the same thing each and over. And in that interview, he actually did mention that Vanguard did not go as well because, I mean, people were just seeing the same thing and they're tired of it.
I think what I found interesting is as a game become more ambitious. So, example, right, Halo Infinite, right?
Yeah.
Halo Infinite right now, amazing game. Multiplayer continues to be well. Yeah. As the demand and the game, its player base wants more. Let's just say everyone leaves 343. How can Microsoft, as an example, putting it like this, how can Microsoft meet the demand and continue to iterate and provide people when they don't have the talent to continue to meet the expectations? And before we go to Sour Blow and we go to Silent Cypher, there's another part so we can have them chime in to this article that ends. It's called "Consolidation is Better Than the Alternative." The concern now is that the specter of the market consolidation, does Microsoft have too much power by taking over one of the biggest publishers in the world? Maybe, but the alternative wasn't working either. Activision was independent and it was known for treating employees poorly and its women and minority employees even worse. The glimmer of hope here is that Microsoft's alternative incentive structure of Game Pass with its subscription fee will unlock some of the creativity of the devs that Activision smothered with the annual Call of Duty. This consolidation is probably more frightening for independent studios looking in from the outside, though. If Game Pass grows into a dominant gatekeeper, this is important, of what succeeds and what doesn't, that could lead to a lot of people getting left out while Xbox hovers up and more of the industry's revenue. But here's where Jeff Grubb kind of makes another point. Again, however, it's not like the system we have now is great either. Independent studios struggle because the industry is producing more games than ever. And we have a stark system that of haves and have-nots where games break out and everyone else struggles to earn a living. These problems are literally more deadly than they should be in the United States because we do not have universal or single payer healthcare. But even as Microsoft takes over Activision, that is not the end of the story. Talent that is currently at Blizzard, Infinity Ward, Toys for Bob will almost certainly depart in the next few years to start their own studios. And investors, with the hope of an eventual Xbox acquisition payday, will fund those new ventures. And this broken system will continue, and hopefully we get plenty of good games and developers are able to feed their families. So, Silent Cypher, now that you saw the second part, what is your thoughts on this article by Jeff Grubb on Activision and also the consolidation of the market?
I think ultimately, it very much was time. I know with that very first interview, he definitely details with Dean a lot about the fact that it was the right time and they were looking for a partner because they were not going to be able to handle the demand with the supply that they were currently running out. And, it was very obvious with the announcements that we saw, stuff like the constant delays of Diablo, again, like the Call of Duty side of things not performing the way that they had in the past. You could tell it was a company in struggle, right? Along with everything else that was going on already with, the sexual allegations and all that stuff, there was so much going on already. And so it felt like it was kind of a tipping point. And he makes it sound, in that first one with Takahashi, he makes it sound like they've been in conversation for a long time, him and Phil Spencer.
Yeah.
And, it's hard. It's hard with Bobby Kotick to know what I fully trust and what is actually real with some of that stuff, but I definitely buy that when he was talking about the company struggling and stuff like that, you could tell he was very open about it. He's like, Call of Duty Vanguard didn't do well. We don't have enough people to make these games crank out at a regular pace. And I think they were realizing that cadence that they had been in the past, kicking those games out every year, it just was not going to be a feasible thing anymore. I know, especially right now in the pandemic times, it's really hard to get support studios. And I think they were driving a lot of the people away during all the other chaos that was going on, along with, the pandemic and stuff. I think it was just a matter of time before something like this happened. And I think it was a good thing because if it wasn't Microsoft that jumped in, it was going to be someone like Tencent. It was going to be, Alibaba. It was going to be one of those companies that he even details. So while I understand the frustration for, maybe the general gamer, the guy that's just got a PlayStation and plays Call of Duty, I get the frustration, but at the same time, could it have been way worse? Could that IP been, driven into the ground worse? I think so. I think this is probably one of the better outcomes that could have come from it.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. This is actually a good thing. I mean, because as he said in an interview, I mean, they're up to the limit. I mean, Call of Duty just reached their limit. I mean, he had to sit down and it's called it's what we call like we had to reinvent the company completely again right now. You had to sit down, look for a partner. Let's go and reinvent all this again and just start from scratch, which, he does not have the time to do it. So,
of which how, especially in this current market, the way that it is, and with how hard it is to get those support studios and get people to work on these different projects and stuff, how do you reinvent that? Like you almost have to have someone that can be your support.
Or
as
more
far
advanced
as
than you, or more advanced than you too, because he needs to get somebody who can teach him the new technology that's coming around, which they are way behind on it. That's what, and the literally what he meant, though. I mean, it's impressive. I mean, and all these years we sit here and we see how Call of Duty goes and it sells and everything, but we never knew that the situation in there was really that bad, especially for not only the sexual harassment stuff. Yeah, I mean that stuff happened this year, but the situation about the game and everything, it was just inclining itself to go down, and so it was actually a good move that he decided, let's sell. I mean, we need to revive this thing, or we just let it die. And it was good that he was open minded to sell it. I mean, he was not stuck to it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna keep this and I'm gonna go all the way and just let it break itself off. No, he actually sold it so it can keep on living, which is a good thing, though.
Yeah, I think they could have easily driven it more into the ground than arguably a lot of people would say they already did, right?
Yeah.
But it does. This goes back to the whole conversation that we had previously, with Sony, where it's like when they started doing the PS4 mass production again, right? It takes a lot to admit that you need help and that you need to you need to adjust and reevaluate where you're at and what your business strategy is.
Yeah.
So.
What about Sour Blow? Sour Blow. Gotta get Sour Blow's take on this.
But before we go to Sour Blow, let me say hello to this awesome chat. Wait, let me say hello. First off, let's say hello to my brother, Parapluck. Wow, he started podcasting today. He look handsome in his podcast over there, Midweek Mix Up. Let's say hello to Toxic Splitter. Welcome, sir. And also, Tony Grasso is here. Thank you, Tony Grasso, for coming by and hanging out with us. And, of course, you got to say hello to our captain. I mean, he's me and Sour Blue's captain in Cities, our Captain Elvis. Captain Elvis, reporting for duty, sir. And also, Black Cardi, welcome to this awesome panel. Black Cardi, thank you for coming by. Sean Ham, thank you also for coming by. Black Cardi, hello to you, sir, and thank you for coming by. And also...
Psychonauts in there.
Psychonauts is in here. Fun speculation, my brother Matt. We were together yesterday till it was 1 a.m. here. It was 1:20 though. I went to bed 1:20, hanging out with Matt over there in Xbox Ultimate Podcast. Loads of fun. And welcome to the show, sir.
We got Big Mad Mo. We got
Army veterans here. Big Mad Mo and Stuff Sean. Oh man, Stuff Sean, man. I'm telling you, Stuff Sean is funny with the shovel in his bucket, man. Watch out for that. Big Mad Mo, welcome to you, sir. And also, who else? Psychonauts is here. Hey, Psycho again, saying hi. Who else was
Gerald Mack.
Who?
Gerald Mack is he's in the chat as well.
Hello.
Gerald Mack. He's always in those shows. You see him everywhere, Gerald Mack.
Hello, Gerald Mack, and welcome to our show. Thank you, Matt, for coming by. So yeah, now let's keep on going to our brother Sour Blow. Go for it, Sour Blow.
Yes. When this story hit me, I was so happy because I'm a huge Blizzard fan. I kind of lost hope on them because, everything changed drastically. Like, once they merged, they weren't the same Blizzard that they used to be. I mean, for those that follow Blizzard, I mean, they used to even have an event. It was kind of their mini, like, their small, like, E3, which was BlizzCon. And I used to watch it. I used to enjoy it. I mean, I spent so much hours in Warcraft 3 and then World of Warcraft. And seeing how, if we think about it, go back about the different type of games they used to create and what they became like recently, you can tell that a lot of things changed after they merged and that they were kind of like forced to like... Because to me, they weren't innovating like they used to be known for, that's why Blizzard was so big, actually. And, like Crazy said before, we had Diana in our show, The Gaming Lobby, and she was talking about how these big studios, developers have so much pressure, etc., and that's why they leave and they form their own small studios. And this is the thing that that kind of this is the basically the culture that they had already was kind of lost once they were bought out by Activision, or when they merged with Activision. And this is something that I think Microsoft could bring back, and this is great, like for all of us, for all the industry, even if you're not right now in the Xbox platform. But I think it's better the way things can go now with Microsoft being the head of it than what it was. So I do agree with the article. Like, maybe it's not great for, well, many people think that it's not great that Microsoft ends up buying all these studios or all these publishers. But at the end of the day, who do you want them to buy it? Do you want Tencent to buy it? And then the other people that could buy it, like Google, Amazon, they don't seem that interested in spending that money. I mean, they're not really into gaming. So do you want them to buy them and do nothing with them? So yeah, that's my take on it.
I mean, I think in the Jeff Grubb article, he also points out, like any business, right? We have people that start startups and then end up selling to bigger companies, right?
Yeah. Yes.
In the sense of, hey, I want to make a good, I want to create something, I want to invent something, and then hopefully with the hopes of maybe a big company seeing, oh man, I love your technology, or let me buy that from you, and then that person then going again and trying to start up another one. So he made a point that yes, Activision being acquired by Microsoft, some of those people are there, will now with this deal benefit. And on top of that, as the developers more creativity, you're going to have turnover, because as we know in the industry, you have people that move around that love to work on different projects. I mean, one of the reasons Rod Ferguson left Microsoft is because he loved Diablo. And when they told him if he wanted to spearhead the Diablo project, he said, how can I say no? And you're not going to have the same people there. There's going to be the people that are going to branch out and, make their money good enough to eventually maybe start their own studio and then start creating on a passion project. And eventually, hey, it just keeps going and growing. And, yes, we look at it as, you took Activision off the board in a sense, but that doesn't mean that all of a sudden this whole consolidation is going to, continue. You're still going to have all these small companies. And if we've seen over the pandemic and over a good period, indies have been killing it. We've had some amazing indie games. Yeah, and the problem is, Jim Ryan himself said it. The industry and making these AAA games is getting so expensive that you have to find different ways of trying to either fund them. And that's why you're also seeing now that PlayStation has to find other ways to provide the content that they provide to be able to then meet the demand of what is expected of the quality of what we've experienced when it comes to their titles. And it's just,
PC.
I'm sorry?
I said like putting it on PC.
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, he said it, and we're not going to beat this conversation. He said it. He wants to be able to give it to more gamers. Mm-hmm. And to him, he sees the markets that he needs to go in. At the moment, Xbox is not, because of course they are rival platforms as we see it, two different boxes, right? But at the end of the day, they also want to spread out, because being in one place just is not going to make you a lot. And I think, a lot of people criticize Sean Layden when he was talking about, even though he was on point with some things and kind of off on other things when he was talking about certain things. But he made a point as well that eventually, yes, you're making these games, but you're basically kind of, I don't want to use the wrong words, but in a circle, kind of recycling it, and you're not really seeing growth, which is, I think Jeff Grubb made this point with Call of Duty. They invested, but they didn't have enough of the talent, and it just goes in, you're going to have to find new ways. That's why we have people, that's why we have some of these things that they started with microtransactions and everything, but,
Yeah. But I want to tell you something, though. I mean, it's actually a good sell. I mean, I'm actually happy that this acquisition did happen, because, to be honest, though, if like right now, after you saw those interviews, you actually understood what was going on behind those doors, especially since we had that person, that developer we had the other day in in gaming lobby, which me and Sarah Blow had, which was Diana. She talked about all that stuff. I mean, it's incredible how that company, which we all thought again, it was doing great, it was doing good, and it was going to be a huge thing, because each year Call of Duty sells. It's no joke. Always Call of Duty sells. I mean, right now, when you look at, since Twitter went crazy yesterday, we saw that number one in PlayStation, I think it was still number one, was Call of Duty Vanguard, or it was in the top 10. I could be wrong if it was number one.
I think it was the top selling game. And even below that, it was another Call of Duty game.
Exactly.
Vanguard, which we thought, hey, it went on sale so easy.
Yeah.
The sales they were. It's still the number one selling game over the holidays.
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible. It's incredible how this company just grabbed the situation that was in, which is actually good. I mean, after we read all he said about the getting into mobile, for getting the AI. You remember this is actually a conversation we had in the God Howard interview. Remember, he was talking about the AI, which needs to get better. You remember that or you guys remember that?
Call of Duty to this day has the best shooting mechanics. So imagine that shooting mechanic to really help in a Halo game, in a Doom game, or whatever comes next of any shooters that they might make. Again, sharing technology, right? Just like you see. When I was playing Horizon, right? I'm playing Horizon. I'm about to beat it, the DLC. It reminds me of Death Stranding. What if, Kojima used some of those ideas because it's running on the Decima to kind of make these beautiful environments. And again, it's nothing bad. It's just technology that you're using across multiple different things.
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible how all this stuff just happened. I mean, seriously, we did not know what was going on there. And today, these two interviews that just came on, which is interesting. Those two interviews that just came out talking about with Bobby Kotick, right? Is it Kotick? I keep forgetting his name. Bobby
Kotick.
Bobby Kotick.
Bobby Kotick. Okay.
Kotick.
It's incredible. Bobby Kotick was saying on how Call of Duty was doing. I mean, I was like, whoa, on how it needed to get into the modern age of technology. It was behind. It's incredible. Really, it is.
I mean, with now that we kind of talk about what we're excited about, crazy. I mean, if this acquisition and the IPs, right? What game has you the most excited? I mean, just in general.
I was gonna ask that for last because I mean, we could leave that for last because I mean, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. I mean, seriously, my first question though to everybody here is, what was your reaction when this acquisition happened? I mean, I wanted to know what was all y'all's reaction because I don't mind though. I can describe it. I can go over there and I can show y'all what happened. Seriously, I can just take out my headphone.
Chad, do not enable him. Do not enable him.
No. I can do my jumping jacks, and when I receive the message, send it to y'all. You're like, I remember you're like, that's not happening.
The thing is, throw your emojis in the chat of how you reacted when you saw that.
Yeah, there we go. I think if we see, how Boo ended up responding, we're going to get an NC-17.
I'm going to tell you something. This was my reaction with my face. But I was like this. Wait, what? I was like, no, this can't be true though. I sent it to y'all, and you're like, I was like,
I was just like this.
Well, we had like 2 days prior, like one day after another. We were joking around. I posted, Microsoft just bought like 5 different studios, and you're like, oh, it's fake. And then I wake up.
You guys were throwing stuff constantly.
Anything from Sour Blow is fake news. Like we know for the minute. So he can say the building's burning, and it could be really, but I'm like, it's fake.
Okay,
Let me say. Keep on talking. Let me show you how it happened. Look,
okay.
No. This is my reaction, though.
Oh God,
no. People, what? No. Look, Retro Nerd is already scarred. We lost him.
All of a sudden, I heard a message. I grabbed my cell phone and I go,
"Good evening, Retro
Oh my
Nerd."
God! And I sent it to y'all, and you were like, "Nah, that ain't true. Nah." I was like, "What? Can that not be true?" And look what happened, though.
Okay, so here's the deal, because you guys were giving me grief for it earlier, and so I jumped in because I was like, I got to see when this happened and what the response was, because I yesterday was a fog. I had a migraine. I can't remember a lot of what was going on yesterday. However, at like 6:25, you end up posting something saying Microsoft nears deal to buy Activision.
Yep.
Of which Mr. Dark just does LOL. I did the same. And then you're responding, you're like, wow, this is amazing. And I was like, nah, Microsoft doesn't want that garbage fire. Is what I responded with.
What else can I do, Silent Cypher? I got to go LOL, right?
Yeah. But yeah, no, when I saw it, I was like, how did I respond to that? And no, it's, honestly, I figured you were just giving me grief like usual. I figure it was the morning, we were razzing each other, we were giving grief because it's what we do in the mornings. So I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, and they bought Sony too. Okay, sure. and then you post that link, and it was like my head just kind of opened up, and I was just like, oh my goodness, like what are we doing? And $68.7 billion, like that is,
yeah.
Look,
Cardi put his head exploded. Let's see. Retro Nerd put oh my god emoji.
Look, let me say this though. 9:26 a.m. was when I sent the message. Right, it was from a guy on Twitter named Live Squawk. He said MSFT ATVI. Microsoft nears deal to buy Activision. WSJ sources. Joanna says LOL. Brian says LOL. I go whoa, like whoa, refer whoa, get on happy, right? Then you go nah, and I was like MS doesn't want that problem going on. I was like, what? Dude, I don't know why. Yeah. No, and then at 9:30 I posted the Phil Spencer Twitter, which says, as we extend the joy of community of gaming, because you know how Phil Spencer is, to everyone, we are incredibly excited to welcome the fantastic teams and iconic franchises of Activision Blizzard to Team Xbox. And I said, oh Lord, it happened. Oh my God. And Jorge goes, what? Oh my God. It went on and went on. That was actually incredible.
I like Gerald's response. He just threw a couple of YouTubes up there. You know what, Gerald? I think that was probably what most of us were doing most of the day. Like I know for myself, I had internet access most of the day, so I was just sitting there listening to the podcasts. I was listening to everyone doing their thing, and there's not a lot of days we get like this. Bethesda was a really big time, 7.2 billion or whatever that was. 7.5. So that was a big moment, and
that was huge.
I don't think any of us could have expected that the next one was going to be this big compared.
No,
like 7.5 seemed big. This is
$0.5 billion.
But I mean, and the fact that they paid him above share pricing. They paid him like I think
45%. Yep.
Yeah.
45%.
Of which I did enjoy that comment by Bobby in the interview. I liked where he's like, they were going to give us 45% over stock pricing, so we thought it was a really good idea.
Of course.
Anyone who says, I wouldn't take that. What do you mean?
Oh, dude.
That's incredible. 45% above. I mean, guys.
You take that and you walk away.
It was when Toyota stock was dying, and somebody said, I'm going to pay you 45% of that. To take it.
Of course. I mean, like I said, it's actually a good buy because we're going to talk about this later about the IPs we want to be revived. Activision's got good IPs that need to bring back, and that was the only way that we're going to do it. If a company like Microsoft grabs it and tells the developers, guys, do whatever the hell you want. We like the idea. Do it. Here's the money. Go for it. Man, we want to see that. And they're going to keep their developers happy, which is something that these guys in Activision want. They want to be happy because they're tired. There's a bunch of them that love Call of Duty. They're fight for Call of Duty, which is true. But there's a bunch of them that are just tired of doing Call of Duty. They want to do something else.
And I think the biggest thing, and I want to kind of point this out because I know we want to dive into that, interview. Everyone is entitled to how they want to feel and how they want to, talk about this. But one of the things that, kind of, it is upsetting. And again, to the chat, FYI, I work for Microsoft, so anything I say, always take it with a grain of salt, you know. But as someone who loves gaming, you know, if even if I wasn't working with Microsoft, you can still play these games. We don't know what the thing, but let's just say we knew exactly what's going to happen, right, with everything, and it closed. You can still play these games on a PC. You don't need a $3,000 PC. See, that's the funny part, right? That's the first thing. You can play this on a tablet, or you can invest, like Sourbloww keeps saying, on a $299 console. And that doesn't mean they're being gatekeeped. That just means that they're not on your favorite box. And it's just beyond that, beyond just the box. But my thing is, even if you're a person that loves a certain ecosystem, let's just say, you know, we have people that love their PlayStation, and that's fine. They want to play, and a lot of the time they're playing many because of their friends. That's cool.
Yeah.
What's cool with Xbox is you don't need a upfront high investment cost. So if you just want to play Gears, or let's just say Rainbow Six, because of the fact that it's not there, all your friends can either do whatever deals are there, right? Or just try it out for a month, play the Rainbow Six on that end. But I get it also because of the facts of achievements and want to show things. But at the end of the day, there's still more accessibility to those games.
Yeah.
Yes.
And one of the things that I find crazy is that, you know, I'm very privileged, like many of us here, that are able to have access or afford multiple consoles to enjoy those different experiences. But it's kind of, I think, short-sighted when people within the industry that do have accessibility to get this stuff through their job, right, want to act like, oh, well, I won't be able to play this. No, you're choosing. I mean, I get it back in the day when we were all kids and some of us, like, you know, grew up in poor communities and, you know, had to go to a friend's house to play something. But gaming has changed. Look at what Netflix, right? I don't have to say, oh, I need this little VCR box or this cable service to get this. No, I can just go and do deals and get the channels that I need to watch the content that I want. And at the end of the day, that's what's happening.
You know what's also incredible? I mean, you get better picture quality in your own house, better than the cinematics, though.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, you know, it's sad, and again, to each their own. I never personally want to keep myself away from an experience because of a certain thing. Yes, I understand, you know, prior to this, I didn't buy Diablo because of the things that were happening with Activision. And it sucks because I did want to support those developers, but at the same time, you know, it's a double-edged sword, and I didn't buy Diablo as much as I love Diablo.
Same here.
I like the fact that I can live in multiple ecosystems. Prior to even having, I have PS Now. And I was doing PS Now for a while because I didn't have a PS4 right away. But I didn't stop myself. That was my experience because I needed to try the IPs that weren't on Xbox. And this whole narrative that's going on, yes, I never want a day where one company rules it all. No, I love competition. Why? My wallet feels great when there's competition.
Yes.
I love my wallet.
100%.
That means I can take vacations. That means I can do other things. I can buy merch. I can sign up to every podcast and be a member. All crazy stuff that I want to do, right?
Especially me that I'm getting married this year. So yeah, it's a good way to save money. Thank you, Game Pass. I can save money for my marriage. Miss Crazy's happy about that.
This wedding brought to you by Game Pass.
And I'm going to tell you right now, the day Spartacus launch, I am going to get the whatever tier that I need to get to play my games. Because I want to play my old school Parasite Eve. And I'm going to love every second of this service. Because I'm going to have my Game Pass and my Spartacus. And I'm going to be playing wherever I am. No matter what.
Man, D. Do you remember D back in the day?
Oh, yeah. Oh. And, you know, so D was great. And it's just, you know, I wish we had more people focusing on, again, there are negative things and you can definitely give opinions on that. But I wish people took more of the time to actually write things that actually had context versus just doing this. You know,
There's also another topic about the monopoly thing. I love when they talk about monopoly. I mean, Tencent has 90 studios. Tencent has 90 studios under their wallet, right? Under their 90 studios for me. Microsoft, how much do they have now? 36, is it? So how much does PlayStation have? in total. When you
I think
saw
they have like
PlayStation,
15. I think.
okay, if
Yeah,
you
they're in the
16.
teens still.
either
They've
way,
added a few more with the support studios, but I
Right.
guess
Oh yeah,
Maybe right around
yeah,
20.
But if
yeah. They went around 20.
but if you add Microsoft and Sony, it doesn't even get close to how many studios Tencent has. Doesn't get close. So when you talk to me about monopoly, I mean, there's no monopoly. Microsoft is gonna buy what it's gonna buy, and also Sony is gonna buy what it's gonna buy, which they are gonna start buying because seriously, if they don't, they're gonna be a little bit held back. They need to start buying. They need to move.
I love, like everyone is here listening to many content creators, many
Yeah.
people around the
Yeah.
industry that I respect.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I'm doing this now and the reason that I
Yeah.
love gaming so much. But it's also, I remember when people said it, and I agreed with it 100%. I remember the Xbox One era. It was an era as an Xbox player that I wish I had some of those experiences. And it was always, the conversation was always, you know what?
Yeah.
Sony secured game X, Y, and Z
Yeah.
because they want to let you know. And I agree. Sony showed me why I played my PlayStation a lot of times because of the content, right?
Yeah.
And they wanted to show you PlayStation is the console to be this generation if you want XYZ content.
Mhm.
It's no different. It's no different now when you have here Game Pass. The difference,
Yes.
though, is that with Game Pass, it's not trying to be tethered to a box. If you want the console experience, you can buy an Xbox Series console. But on PlayStation, we go back to the same thing. I can only buy a PlayStation. I can only go under those things to do certain things on there. And again, it's going to change. And we talked about this before. The vision of Xbox One eventually kind of came together as PlayStation kind of had. And the same thing's going to happen. Kind of both companies are going to offer, and it's going to be about the attention to our gamers.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think about that, Sourbow?
Yeah, it's a good back and forth that's happening. I'm sure that they're gonna come with their Project Spartacus, and I think what this acquisition did is it might put pressure on them, and they might even have to do day and date. I mean,
Yeah.
and they might even have to bring their games to PC day one.
Day one? Oh, baby. Yes.
So it's good for all of us gamer. Like I myself, I got a PC. If that happens, I don't need to buy a PlayStation 5. I mean, and I don't get these fanboys that they get mad when someone tells them that. Just be happy that they're getting to experience the games that you supposedly love so much, right? Like if I play a game and I love the game and someone could play it anywhere in their cell phone, their computers, even if they play it on another platform, I'm happy because that's what I want. I want to share my experience with them, see how they did. We're gamers. This is to have fun. This isn't like
This is something that people don't understand why Jim Ryan wants to do this. I mean, guys, you need to understand something. If you grab how much Jim Ryan makes in a console, not Jim Ryan, I mean Sony. Let's say they sell a PlayStation, they make $10 for each PlayStation. Now, how much can they make by selling a video game?
Well, you don't make money on consoles. That's
No.
always
Exactly. But
always the thing.
yeah, but PlayStation, I remember one day back in the day when PlayStation 4 came out, they said they were winning $20 per console, right? They said that they said that $20 pretty much they were winning.
For sure.
But either way, $20 is not the moneymaker. The moneymaker for them is the games. It's the games and the service, right? Yes.
Games, the content,
So
the
that's why
service.
Jim Ryan said it on that interview. He's gonna try to make the games reach millions and millions of people because he wants to make money. He wants Sony to keep on making money. So seriously, what Sour Blow is saying, which is a good idea, I hope this gives some pressure to make those games day one on PC. Yes, we want that. And Sony's not gonna lose because that's the thing. Fanboys are saying, "Oh, they're gonna lose this because they're gonna put." They're not gonna lose. What is gonna happen? They're not gonna buy their consoles. So, but they're still gonna buy their games, and they're still gonna make money though.
There's a company that we all know that has this guy, this plumber.
Yeah.
Nintendo alone, despite some of the, let's just say, consoles that didn't do well, survived in their IPs. Sony has some great, and I'm going to make this clear here, some phenomenal IPs.
Mm-hmm.
And not just in the era of the PS4, but in the era of the PS1, the PS2.
Who?
Things that if Spartacus brings over is going to unlock some amazing IPs that people can experience either for the first time or re-experience them.
Yes, sir.
So, IPs are gold, right? And someone who's been gaming on Xbox since day one, we do have iconic characters. And we're now making more iconic characters. But when you look at Sony, they have a history of some amazing games where I'm just like, you know what? I want a Nathan Drake. Like, okay, cool. You want Nathan Drake? We're gonna give you Senua. We're gonna give you, Colt. We're gonna give you Judah from Deathloop. We're gonna give you all, Kate from Gears, and I don't see that because at the end of the day, it's all about now giving content. So I just don't see that. It's crazy. I get it. We all like to be excited. We all like to, and it happens. But at the end of the day, even now, I never want that because at the end of because the market leader gets complacent, and then guess what? We're back to square one.
Yeah.
So keep each other on the toes. I want Nintendo to come out with some other things. I'm excited. I was more excited about Banjo coming to the Nintendo Online, actually.
But yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. And another thing, though, we're gonna get a Crash Bandicoot Mario Kart thing over there on Xbox. We're gonna have fun with this. Can you guys imagine us four racing over there right now? We're gonna have loads of fun with that stuff.
Gerald Max said Siphon Filter. I totally 100% want
Gabe
Logan. Give me Gabe Logan. Yes,
100%.
Yes, we won.
I remember cruising around on that first game, and I think the second one too, but using the taser and lighting people on fire if you held them long enough and stuff. It was an awful thing for me to do as a human, but it was hilarious when I was.
We need Gabe Logan back. We need Gabe Logan.
Yes,
yes.
He's a hero we need right now.
We need also
for Sony.
PlayStation needs to do multiplayers. They need to bring back SOCOM. SOCOM needs to come
Yo,
back.
Give me SOCOM. Yes.
So good.
Yes, SOCOM needs to come back.
I was real quick. I was doing a little math here, and let's say, for example, about how many PlayStation exclusive do you think you will play this generation?
I'm gonna play. I've played almost everyone, depending on again from the ones that they've done. I played Returnal.
But do you think? Would you think it will be a number around 15, more than 15?
Oh, you're saying overall that they're gonna come out this generation?
Yes.
Well, didn't Ryan say they had about 25 brand new IPs that some of them are kind of existing?
25 games, and half of them were supposed to be new IPs.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yes,
but yeah,
me too.
if he has that, that's awesome. That means they're bringing a lot of stuff back.
Correct.
Probably.
I want a Legend of Dragoon. Can I just get that?
I hope he's not counting.
Oh man, I want. But that's Square Enix though.
No, Legend of Dragoon was made by Sony. It's a first-party title made. No, Square Enix never made Legend of Dragoon.
What?
Legend of Dragoon. I want a Legend of Dragoon. I want another new Wild Arms. I want a Battle-Arena Toshinden just to replay it again, even though it was a bad fighting game.
I want the original Xenogears back. We need the original Xenogears.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed that supposed remake that actually has the actual endings coming back.
Wow.
I want Soulfall Filter. Yeah. Anyway, what I was going to say real quick is that let's say 15 games. If you put it into perspective, that's $70 each. With that amount of money that you're spending on those 15 games, you know how many years you get a Game Pass Ultimate? You get about 6 years of Game Pass Ultimate. Yeah. And you know how many games you can play with that?
Yeah, but let's see what happens with Spartacus. Yeah. We don't know yet.
Yeah, that's true.
And we don't know. I mean, you save money. You got a haircut, so that helps too.
Yeah. You took all that hair off, man. I mean,
he was like, I saved so much money. Look, I took this hair off.
I took his hair off. Hey, man, they were calling him Peluca here.
Well, you know what it was?
No more, man. $15. I've been saving money with Game Pass.
You know what it was? I was walking and I bumped into Phil Spencer. He told me how much you want for the hair, and I was like, here, take it.
Oh, was it Manscaped that came up to you? You saved that 20% when you watched
Manscaped. Manscaped. Yep. Yeah, I was from midweek. Yep. Manscaped promo right there. Yep. That would be a good example.
Yeah, Mav is right. I would love a new Resistance. I need
Yes.
some
Oh,
Insomniac
yes.
to make a new
Yes.
Resistance. Or just give me a Resistance HD. I'll take that
Yes.
at the moment. Give me Infamous.
But,
I want
I
Infamous.
really want Silphon Filter. I love that trilogy.
Parappa the Rapper.
Yeah. Oh no! Please, no Parappa.
No,
Whoa, you gotta believe, bro. You gotta believe.
Gotta compete.
Now,
I'm in the fight.
Mav brings up a good point. Motorstorm. I would love
Yes.
to have another Motorstorm. Honestly, like, do you remember going to the stores when the stores had the demo kits for the system and playing the demo of Motorstorm? That game was so cool. The visual effects, the graphic fidelity that you had on a PS3 at that time was insane. I would love to have that.
Man,
Yo.
you know what I want them to bring back. Seriously, I want them to bring back Road Rash. I miss Road Rash. A good Road Rash.
Road
game.
Rash is owned by EA.
It
And have
is.
you ever played the game the Road Redemption?
Yes, I bought
It's a
it.
spiritual it's not as good as Road Rash, but
It's
it's a spiritual successor to Road Rash. Motorstorm and SOCOM got the bad end of the stick with the PSN outage and all these other things that happened. And I just feel that SOCOM, it needs to come back in some way or form. I don't care.
Yeah.
Get me the old games and just slap a new coding and remake them and just keep the thing. I just need a new SOCOM. Give me a Vita 2 so I can take it on the go as well. I know people are going to be like, what are you talking about, Vita? Yep, I was a resident on Vita Island, so I love the PS Vita.
Well, there's a studio called, I think it's Deviation Games, that are Call of Duty veterans. They're working supposedly, I think, in a multiplayer for Sony.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. That's like a partnership, right? That they made with the studio. So it's like a second party. Yeah.
Yes, that one. Yeah.
So
So
here, now I got another question for you all. This is a question that really needs it's coming up. I mean, this is actually an interesting question. What good things can they bring out from this awesome acquisition these guys did? I mean, this is something I would like to hear your opinions on this acquisition. Microsoft did with Activision Blizzard. What good things could they bring out? Go ahead, Joanna. What do you think? What good things this acquisition could bring out for these guys?
Creativity. I think that I want to see all these studios get put in a blender and kind of repopulated back to what they were. I would love to see either Treyarch or Sledgehammer, one of those, to kind of be on Call of Duty, and then allow other people, even Sledgehammer, when it's not working, maybe work on something different and allow creativity. I think there were some great IPs and things that we heard in the back end that never came to fruition when they started just pushing them as Call of Duty support studios.
Yeah.
And I just think with the creative reins that they've been provided, hence everything goes well and this acquisition goes through, we can probably see Blizzard back at what it was. And most importantly, just overall bring back what these games meant and even get other experiences that we never thought of. One of the things that I always wanted and never came out was StarCraft Ghost. Please, if you can give me that in now, StarCraft Ghost, give me a single player experience of StarCraft with a really cool, heroine. I'll take that. I definitely want to see how they take all the IPs, the technology, and kind of just overall open the floodgates of just creativity. I know it sounds like kumbaya crazy, but I got a feeling that that's another reason because there's so much talent there to just let it go to waste.
How about you, Silent Cypher? How do you feel about what good things they could get out of this awesome acquisition?
Oh man, I've been prepping for this, so just buckle up for a second, okay?
No problem, man. Go for it.
So
He has a list. He made a list right now.
I have a list. Yes. Okay. So, and we'll do it in alphabetical order. Okay. So, Crash Bandicoot, right off the bat, I was really happy to see that one come back with number 4. I think we need to see more of those. Just one for me personally on that one. DJ Hero, even though I sucked at it, I would love to have that game come back. I was no good at it, but it would be great. Geometry Wars is another one I would love to see another jump into. I feel like that third one that came out recently, a few years back, kind of jumped the shark, adding some new game types and stuff. I think if it's not broke, don't fix it The game modes that they had in those first two games were phenomenal. I don't think you need to change that process and that game type that they already had. The formula was good. Guitar Hero. Now, we talk about DJ Hero. I sucked at that. Guitar Hero, I will play all day. I will play that until my fingers are raw, because those games were so good.
Can you imagine us like Sour Blow will be drums, you'll be the guitar, Joanna? What other instrument did they have for?
Could be the vocals. I used to sing. I used to have a bootleg band called Judas Priest.
I can be out of all the guys here. I mean, I should be the singer. I mean,
no, please, no,
cool
no.
Well,
yeah.
so
we've seen your shower. We've seen your shower. You sound like a wounded animal.
Oh man.
So if I remember correctly, what they had main guitar, they had bass, they had vocals and drums. Yeah.
I could do the guitar.
So bouncing off of that, this is probably not one that you guys would have thought about.
Samba de Amigo.
No. It's hurtful. I want another gun game.
Gun, yes.
Oh,
I
saw
that
and I was like,
Yeah,
wow,
I was like, gun.
it never hit me.
Gun.
It's honestly, that first game was really good. It got overshadowed at the time. It came out at a weird time anywaad. There was a ton of stuff.
It was a launch game for the 360.
Yeah.
There were a lot of things like Condemned, Dead or Alive.
Gun was like
that.
basically Red Dead Redemption, but more arcadey, more Grand Theft Auto.
But that's something that we need. We actually need more westerns. There's no westerns out there. I mean, just Red Dead Redemption. You're right about that.
Real quick, Gabriel Knight and Phantasmagoria go to Double Fine. I love Gabriel Knight.
Yep.
Phantasmagoria.
And Phantasmagoria was one of the next ones for me to mention. I don't care if we just get a remaster that ups the visual quality on the footage and all that stuff. I mean, we're talking about a game that was mainly just cutscenes. Yep. It was 7 discs of cutscenes, basically.
Yep.
I'm okay with that. That's fine. Those cutscenes scarred me as a kid. I'm not going to lie. Seeing sorry, spoilers 20, 30 years later or whatever, but when I saw the lady take the axe to the head in the chair, I probably shouldn't have seen that when I was a little kid. So anyways, I'll wrap it up real quick. But Police Quest would be cool. I would really enjoy seeing another StarCraft. I'm a big RTS guy. Obviously, I've told you my roots about Command and Conquer. That's a big one for me. So to see another RTS come around would be great. Tenchu, obviously, the legacy side of things.
We're not getting Tenchu.
Tenchu, it's been sold back from Software.
Yes. No.
They sold it back. So here's the thing.
Okay.
Sekiro was basically Tenchu. It started as a Tenchu game and ended up being Sekiro. Mm-hmm. And Sekiro was not owned by Activision.
I didn't think that they ended up getting the Tenchu rights as well, though.
They sold them. Activision sold Tenchu to From Software.
Okay. Well, in that case, we'll just skip right on past that, and I'll say Tony Hawk. I want more Tony Hawk. After Tony Hawk 1+2, or 1 and 2, or whatever, that was so good. It was so nice to be back in the Tony Hawk universe. And honestly, I think it'd be great to see that again, just in the fact that, Skate is coming back, obviously, but it's just like what we talk about with this acquisition, right? This acquisition is going to cause Sony to be more at their best. They're going to think on these recent events, and they're going to start making moves. Yep. And I feel like if we have Tony Hawk, a skating game there, we're going to see something like Skate trying to push the envelope and stuff. So the competition, I think, would be great for that. We don't get a lot of cool skateboard games anymore. And besides that, True Crime.
True Crime.
Oh my God. You know that I have that via, emulation, and it runs amazing. And True Crime Streets of New York was amazing as well.
Yes. Yeah, it was. But yeah, I'll stop hogging the time.
Who would you get to make True Crime? Who would you get to make True Crime out of the studios?
God, honestly, who made Sleeping Dogs? It was a Square Enix, right?
Yeah, Square Enix. But I'm talking about from the Microsoft studios. You have Coalition. You have.
I just
You know.
want to be greedy and say that they should buy the company from Square Enix and make them do it.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
personally,
I
if we
wouldn't
were
give
gonna
Square Enix a shilling. I wouldn't throw like The Witcher. I wouldn't even throw a nickel.
if we were gonna see a true crime from a Microsoft studio,
You forgot Prototype. That's what Gerald Mack just said.
Yep, Gerald Max.
Yeah,
Mentioned Prototype.
I did.
Prototype
forget
was a good game. I used to play. I beat both those games. Those games were. I missed. Those.
I will think on. I'll go ahead and think on that one, and I'll get back to you on which
Studios.
Microsoft company.
High Moon Studios would make. I would love them to make Prototype.
That would be
How
good.
about you, Sauerblue? What good things can happen from this awesome acquisition? What do you think?
Okay, I got one game in mind. That's what I want. But before I get to that, I'm gonna say that besides games, there's also other things that that can come with it. Like, for example, they own all these IPs. Well, let's start with True Crime, for example. They own all these IPs, and sure, they can have one of Microsoft Studios do the next True Crime, but maybe one of Microsoft Studios are not interested, but they might be other studios interested in that IP, and they might reach out to Xbox so they can find other studios interested in many of those IPs or many of the older IPs that Microsoft has now. That opens an avenue.
Yeah.
Another thing is, with this acquisition, Blizzard came, which they're huge in PC, and then you got King, which they're huge on mobile. So you can see Microsoft take a quicker approach to consolidate their ecosystem, try to push harder on those other devices. So we could start seeing King making games probably from current Microsoft IPs, making cell phone games that you can actually download directly to your phone that are not necessarily in the cloud, or they can work on other games and maybe help out with the infrastructure of for example, not all the games have tactic. Well, they don't, I think, do any of the they don't have tactile yet, right? So they,
what do you mean tactic?
like tactile gameplay, like they don't have games that
Tactical. They've got Halo Wars and stuff like that, but that's your real time.
And Gears Tactics they have.
Okay.
Yeah, Gears Tactics. Yeah.
So King could accelerate that and help them, create more games like that. And there's other different things. For example, movies. For example, they have all these IPs now. They can get, maybe they won't start, movie studios or anything like that, but they can make deals, for example, with HBO Max, with Netflix, where they would lend them an IP, but they can also get IPs from these others, these other companies. And, there's different things they can negotiate, which this is pretty good it's pretty big for them, I think. I'm sure people are interested in making Call of Duty movies, So I think, and the game I really want, if they do this game for me, I'm all set. Is I want Arthas right there, Arthas Menethil, Witcher 3 type game. If they do that, I'm all set. That's all I want.
I want Playground Games to make Interstate 76. And that would be their Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
In my opinion, what I found good about this acquisition thing is that there's something Call of Duty has that it's going to be really good for Microsoft. It's their marketing. I mean, Activision had an awesome marketing. Can you imagine Activision just giving all the marketing ideas and stuff just for them to publish more, like to market all their games and stuff for people to get more access to it? Because the marketing on Call of Duty, it's amazing. I mean, it's incredible. It's a console seller, which is the truth. I mean, yesterday I sat down while I was in the shower, like always. I mean, I never leave the shower, right? I'm always living in the shower. Yesterday I was in the shower, took a little break, thinking of things. And what actually helped a lot to sell PlayStation was on how these past 6 years, right? 6 years, 7 years, is it that PlayStation has had pretty much everything of Call of Duty, like all the DLCs and all that stuff. And what do you think people are gonna do? They're gonna be like, I'm gonna buy my PlayStation because I know the DLC is gonna come out here first, and then Xbox is gonna come out next year. But either way, though, we got it here first, and that's actually a good thing. And I'm actually happy that Microsoft finally has gotten that awesome marketing strategy right there for them.
Yeah.
Luke,
You know.
no, go, Sourbelow, go.
Oh, real quick. You know what else crazy? Like, for example, we hardcore, we know, when a game is multiplatter or not. But as someone that's casual, for example, let's say a father or mother go to a store and their son wants to buy the next Call of Duty, and they see all the marketing, Call of Duty, PlayStation, they might think it's only on that platform, and that also pushes.
Yeah, that's what I'm
platform.
saying though.
Yeah.
It's a good thing they got this marketing because Call of Duty is a big game. Everybody, I mean, kids love it. I remember my little cousin. He was actually a better player than my little cousin in Aruba. He's actually a better player than I was in Call of Duty. And all he did was play Call of Duty. That's it. Call of Duty, Call of Duty. And he's actually quick scope is it called? Quick scope,
Quick scope. Yeah.
Yo, oh man, that little kid was quick scoping me all the way. Seriously.
I saw something in a chat. I don't know if it was you, Brian, that said it, which was pretty interesting. With this purchase, they target kids with with Spyro and and
Can you believe that Sony IPs are actually the mascots?
Yeah, I mean,
they
because that's
also
something I'm like,
targeted fathers, real quick, fathers with Call of Duties, but they also targeted moms with Candy Crush.
yeah, with Candy Crush and grandmas, which Matt
The
was calling them
grandma.
yesterday. Grandmas, yeah, the grandmas of gaming. They play Candy Crush all the way.
Funny about that. My in-laws play Candy Crush, and my father-in-law tells me yesterday, "Hey, did your company just acquire Candy Crush?" I was like, "Yes." And then the only thing he said, "Oh, well, I can come for you for my issues." I said, "No."
No.
So I was like, "No."
Oh, man.
Yeah, Sablo made some good points.
Yeah.
The whole thing, right? Everyone said it. Oh, why did Xbox make the Series S, right? Oh, the Call of Duties, the NBA 2K market, the Fortnite market. There you go.
Yeah.
And not only that, we forget that we're just talking about console. You still have Warzone, which is free to play, right? Across everything.
Yeah.
And you still have Call of Duty Mobile, which is another big, huge thing. So you target the people that maybe not even want a console. They just want to be on the, on a train ride, on a plane, whatever, playing on their phone and just playing Call of Duty.
Yes, and something that they can add to these mobile games, they can add like if you subscribe to Game Pass, you get certain benefits, which is their target, Game Pass, and that's.
I mean, now that you're on there, Sourbelow, what do you think is going to happen? Let's just say deal closes, everything perfect. They are going to honor contracts and they are going to keep it. What do you think might happen with Call of Duty? Do you think it gets something as a specific one that comes not as often, but then Warzone continues to be its separate, kind of like Halo, right? Halo has a campaign that's exclusive to the Xbox and PC console, but free to play for everything else.
I was gonna ask that question right now. Like, what do you think will happen after all this stuff ends? I mean, seriously, what would happen if Call of Duty is gonna keep on doing games every year, or they're gonna put a studio just aside? And that's something that really need to get through. So yeah, Sourbelow, go for it. Say it right there.
Okay, well, answering first, Mr. Joanna Dark question. I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna take the Bethesda approach, and Warzone. It's in all the current games. They're gonna stay, multi-platform. They're gonna stay in all the platform, but all the new games that are created, I think they are gonna be exclusive for the Xbox ecosystem. So wherever Game Pass is available, you're going to be able to play those games. And answering the other question, what was your other question, Crazy? What was your question?
Like, what's my question is, after the deal closes, I mean, what's gonna happen? I mean, how are they gonna split this? How are things gonna work? What I mean, give your ideas. Like, make your prediction. Like, what do you think
Okay.
will happen?
Well, what I hope happens is that they basically ask the studios like, what exactly do you want to work with, and they
Yeah.
just create one studio, kind of like 343, that works with Call of Duty,
Halo.
and then let everyone else. I mean, yeah, like for kind of like a 343, but this time for Call of Duty, and then let all the other studios create what they want to do. They want to work on older IPs they want to revive, or they want to use some of Microsoft IPs because they have other IPs, or do you want to create new IPs? Just let them be creative, do whatever they want to create, whatever games they want to make, and not push them to do things that they might not want to do. That's what I would love them to do that.
How about you, Silent Cypher? What do you think about all that? I mean, what would happen after everything closed, deals closed, and all that stuff? I mean, what do you think? How are they gonna handle all this stuff? Like, I mean, all the Call of Duties. Are they gonna keep on doing Call of Duty year per year, or they're gonna let everyone work on other ideas, which is what we all want? So, what do you think is gonna happen?
I think right off the bat, one of the first things that draws me in, that makes me feel more comfortable about it, and we were talking about it a little bit in the chat earlier, but it's one of those things where Phil Spencer and his leadership comes in and they can say, okay, this is going to be a sea change as far as the morale in this place, the way that we approach things, stuff like that. I think right off the bat, the human side of things is something that makes me really happy, because you look at everything that's been going on with the leadership for the last few years, or more, honestly. We can't say. It seems like this has been a fairly systemic thing for quite a while. I'm really happy to see that the people that have stayed with the company are going to see some relief from the way things were previously. All politics and fanboy stuff aside, it's like, do I love the fact that this stuff's all going to be on Game Pass as time goes on, and I'm not going to have to constantly shell out the money? Yes. But the people that are there finally get to see a change in pace and get to see a better work environment, and I think that that's awesome. As far as everything else goes, honestly, I think with Call of Duty, I really think they're going to try and go to the drawing board on it, and they're going to cut it back. So instead of doing this thing where we're kicking it every year, and we've got 3 different teams that are rolling through this thing, I think they're going to give it more time to breathe. You look at how Microsoft has been with the other companies that they've acquired or that were internal, and ever since Phil jumped in and really tried to make a difference on this thing, he gives them the time that they need so they can actually get the project done, and there's not a bunch of crunch, there's not hate walking into that studio every day thinking, oh man, I've got to do this sucks. It's just a different environment. And obviously, like, things have changed. People think back to Microsoft of the 90s and stuff like that. It was a different Microsoft. Things have changed a lot, even just in the past few years. And it's been rated as one of the top places to work, just in the fact that the morale is better. Just the environment is better. And so I think the relief for the teams will be a really nice thing. And I think that they are going to actually give them more time to actually, do the projects, instead of just saying, okay, this is going to be a November cadence. You're going to drop this game and it's just going to be what it is. I think they're going to assess it and they're going to say, okay, where are we at? What are we doing with this? How does it play? Is it full of bugs? If it is, then let's hold back for a month or two. Let's do what we need to. Uh-oh. Sour's got some...
what are you? What did you just
what are you
whip out,
doing?
Sour?
I
What
was
are you
showing
doing?
something for the chat. For
Oh.
Are you showing?
OCD
That's how-
gamer. He was
Nice.
asking, and I told him I use PC, but I use like old like I buy these controllers, to kind of emulate that I have the console, even though I don't.
I have my Super Nintendo Mini controllers. I love that Super Nintendo Mini, man. It's the best.
But
So,
yeah, long story short, I think that's the big thing is just it's going to be a better environment for the people that are working there. I think that's great. We're going to see a bunch of games anyways, whether they get pushed a little bit so they can have time to breathe or not. You factor this puts them at like 38 different development studios and Microsoft. So if you've got to push a game back for a little bit because it's not ready yet, needs to go back in the oven and bake a little longer, do it.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do.
How about you, Joanna? Tell me, what do you think after all this stuff closes? I mean, what do you think is going to happen? I mean, are they going to? What are the next moves after all this deal closes? What is Microsoft going to do with all those studios? Tell us your ideas, man.
I mean, I want to know exactly. I mean, you can see the same thing. I think everyone said it here. We look at what happened with Bethesda, right? We had Quake that came out, and it came out on platforms, legacy platforms that were there. Elder Scrolls continues to be supported. Same thing like Minecraft. We also have what other games that are kind of multi-plat that are there? Oh, Fallout 76.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure with Warzone is going to continue. You're going to get date and date updates continue because that's always been there. And Phil Spencer honors the contracts, honors everything that's in there to make sure because he made it clear. It's not about taking anything away or punishing anyone for anything else. They're still going to honor those things. What is going to happen is anything that's there from Diablo to all that, I'm pretty sure that's going to be exclusive. And it made sense to the extent of we also had these games kind of pause and say, hey, we don't know what's going to happen. And then from there, we don't really know, what contracts they might have. Maybe there's deals, that similar to Deathloop, Tokyo,
Yes.
Ghostwire Tokyo. We don't know what deals were already in place. And they're not going to just say, oh, forget these deals. But I don't see how a game that makes so much money doesn't stay, there. If they end up making even the regular mainline CODs, number one, it's going to be day one on Game Pass. You're probably going to get perks through Game Pass, similar to what we see with Halo, getting those perks.
Yes.
And even saying, hey, you get all this with Game Pass. And that's going to be something where, again, we talk about the casual, right? They come in, they're looking like, yeah, I just want to play Call of Duty. Am I going to go buy a $500 box? Still have to pay $70 plus whatever DLC? Or can I just go and just jump in if I have a PC already, or I have a Series S, or I have a browser, and I just have a couple of minutes, have good internet to just jump in and play my Call of Duty with my friends, and that's it. And that's going to be another dilemma. I think we spoke about this, and we've covered this on some of the ones that Lou, you and I have been on podcasts and every podcast. It's about showing the value of Game Pass, and then in addition, showing the services and how it comes together with smart delivery, with upgrades to your existing content, making sure that when you can have some of these experiences that may be available now on other platforms, but when you are on the Xbox platform, these are the incentives that you get for being on this platform. So that's the attraction, right? Because at the end of the day, once you get stuck into an ecosystem, right? A lot of people, say, why do people always stay on Apple sometimes, right? It's because they get ingrained into an ecosystem.
Yep.
And Apple does everything to say, let me make services that just make it easy for you. So even if you thought about looking to maybe go over to Android, right? I'm just going to show you why it's still better here. Even though you can still get some of the apps that are there, I'm going to make it through the software and the services that I have to show you that this is the best place to be at. And I think that's what it's been down to right now, Yes, you can survive because you have amazing Nintendo. We all know Nintendo is still figuring out AOL. They're probably still on MySpace, but they have amazing IPs. But at the end of the day, you eventually also have to grow and just can't live on those laurels either. Because when you start seeing it on the other side, that there's a lot of more things. Unless you're really one of those hardcore that we see out there, those warriors that are fighting this fake Matrix fight, it's about people are going to go. You know, I worked in retail and I had a lot of people say, hey, I used to be an Apple user. I came over to Windows because I love the way Windows work now. I like the way my files come over with OneDrive. I love all the integrations. And in addition, I want a Surface because the Surface kind of showcases why I like, you know, why Windows is great, right? And it just goes at the end of the day, there's so much eventually people just want. And the casuals, they're going to go and just buy whatever makes them. At the end of the day, people want to save money.
Yes.
Like I said before, I worked in retail. No one ever said to me, hey, Mr. Joanna Dark, I want that computer. Oh, yeah, sure. How about I sell it to you at full price? What do you mean? I want a sale. Nobody has ever told me they want to pay me more for something. People always, even people that have money, even businesses that I've worked with, when I have talked to a business about technological solutions for their business, never have the first conversation is, cool, I love that technology. What's the cost? What are the discounts? And what are you giving me?
Exactly.
So they want their bang for their buck. Nobody has ever told me, I want to overpay you.
Never.
So, you know, I think, you know, I would hope that maybe the main CODs become maybe more story driven with a better cycle, and those become exclusive to the platform. And then you're going to have your multiplayer that can still be, because again, look at Minecraft. Call of Duty is on that level of a game that continues despite everything. I think Retro Nerd in the chat was saying, Vanguard #1, and I think it was Warfare #2. I think it was, I can't remember. That's crazy. And yet people say, oh, look at this game is, to some people it's garbage, but the numbers don't show that it's garbage because it's still selling.
Exactly.
It's incredible, man. I mean, I gotta be honest with you. When they did buy this, I mean, like I said, happy because seriously, they need to just what Salblo said. They need to get one team work on Call of Duty. That's it. Just work on Call of Duty every year. Just put up. Just make it infinity. Because seriously, I said it before. There's nothing else you can do with Call of Duty. I mean, what else can you do? You just got to make it infinity. Just keep on adding stories for people to buy the DLCs or play them on Game Pass, you know, and just enjoy your game. And you don't have to wait year after year, you know, a new story. And pretty much they do copy paste. Is that not copy paste? My bad. That's not the word you can use. But they bring the assets from the old games, right? And put them in there to keep the game going. But yeah, just leave that team there, work that multiplayer, work those great stories, and just leave one team doing that and grab the other guys and make them work for the other games. I mean, make them work for the new IPs. Let's get into that because we really need, and also revive old IPs, new IPs, which they do great games. I mean, Activision, right here, we're talking about True Crime. We talked about Tony Hawk. Those guys did great games, you know? They did great games. And seriously, we need to...
Imagine a Call of Duty that has at least a 4-year dev cycle. And then continue to play, you know, continue to do it until you know your fan base says, oh, you know what? I think I'm ready for the next story.
Yeah.
It'll be great because, again, it just gives people time and it gives the developers to be more creative at the end of the day. It's like, think about it. A game like Call of Duty, you know, that's why I never envy the people that make sports games. Like, the minute they ship a sports game, they're already working on the next year, which is terrible, you know? Yeah. And maybe Microsoft gives it the treatment of making COD multiplayer a platform, similar to what Warzone is right now. And then, you know, bring it, like I said before, into an experience to give me those back in the day, those nice storylines like the Black Ops, you know, the World at War, some of these really cool, inventive ones. Even the World War II was good. The one that came out, you know, this gen, I thought it was great.
Really
you know,
good.
boots on the ground, all this stuff. Yeah, I thought it was great. I loved it. You know, even Infinite Warfare with its cheesy thing. You know what?
Yep.
It reminded me of, you know, a little bit of Killzone. So I was like, all right, cool. You know, John Snow in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it is. Guys, I have an also really cool question to ask you all. PlayStation, what is their next move? What do you guys think they're gonna do next? I mean, seriously, after this bot, after Activision got bought by Microsoft, I mean, what do you think PlayStation is gonna do next? I mean, this is a subject I want to get into it. Do you think PlayStation is gonna sit down and talk to Xbox about partnering up and bring Game Pass to their side? Which is actually it could happen. I mean, with all the stuff going on, it could actually happen. That could be a conversation over there. Or what do you think? What do you think they're gonna do, or what are they gonna buy to bring back some stuff over there? Because I mean, seriously, right now that big Activision buy, of course. I mean, we saw what happened with the stock. Supposedly, what happened to the stock thing, which dropped massively because they bought Activision.
They didn't wipe like 20% of their market value or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but I was watching the stocks the other day. They were inclining a little bit. So I don't know what percentage it did drop, to be honest. But I was watching them these days. They were a little bit on the incline, going down because with the materials gone, it's hard to build those TVs and stuff. So that it happens. Stuff like this happens to a lot of companies. Even the Microsoft stock was minus 2. It was 2.48% today, but it happens. But either way, though, what do you guys think it can happen, though? I mean, what do you think PlayStation is going to do? Sarablo, give us your ideas. I mean, what do you think PlayStation? What's their next move? What are they going to do?
They're gonna buy McDonald's.
Yeah, they did have a
Get a Happy
crossover
Meal.
King,
Get a
right?
Happy Meal.
You get chicken nuggets with every
Chicken
purchase
nuggets.
of God of War.
Yeah,
Yeah. Get a Ragnarok chicken nugget.
yeah.
Well, for the moment right now, I don't think I don't think they have to immediately react and just buy whatever studio they can just to buy it. I think that would be a dumb move. They need to think it through, think what studio actually would give them value, And if we look at this year, if there's no delays on their end, they're gonna have an amazing year. So this year, I think they'll kind of be fine. I think what they do need to address is Game Pass, because now that everyone knows all these games are coming to Game Pass, I think with their Project Spartacus now, they need to come more aggressive. Like, if it's what we first heard that what the project was gonna be, just merging the two and just maybe old retro games. Those old retro games better be they better run good, the first thing. And I don't know, maybe you don't have to do day and date, but what I would do is at least give the users a time frame, like maybe 6 months after you will get the games, and then maybe that will push people more into subscribing to their service. But I think this approach that they have with putting the price up on their games, and then you as a user seeing the other side, of the competition, just having all these games releasing in Game Pass at a very good price. I think that could hurt them a lot if they don't respond to that. But regarding acquisition, I would be them. I do think they need to buy someone eventually. Keep growing. They need to buy more studio, but they don't need to rush right now and just buy someone just to buy it, just to respond.
All right.
That's my.
How about you, Silent Cypher? What do you think about that? What do you think of what's gonna happen to PlayStation? I mean, what do you think that's gonna be the next move? Like, do you think they're gonna go out and buy a studio, or they're gonna partner up with Game Pass? Because I mean, this is actually a good subject. I mean, they could actually sit down and say, okay, let's have a talk with Microsoft and see if we can bring Game Pass over here, which is actually a good opportunity because it's all this stuff that's been going on. I mean, that could actually happen. I mean, it could be it's a dream come true, but it could actually happen. They could sit down and talk about that. What do you think about that?
it feels like it was more of a pipe dream 2 days ago than it is now, right? I think the climate has changed. That being said, though, I think the first thing that Sony probably does in the most near future is they go day and date with their PC releases. I think that's one of the first things. I think that drives a decent amount of attention on their games with the PC crowd, which PC crowd is large. That'll get them some extra influx in monetary investment or monetary benefit from the customer. Do they buy a company? Yeah. Which one it is, it's hard to say. I know Sour was joking earlier about Square Enix earlier today. I wouldn't be surprised if they did Square or if they did Capcom.
Yeah. No, I want them to buy Square. I say.
Oh, you want them to? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw one of the two. I don't think they're going to buy more than one suite of devs at this point, but I do see them spreeing for someone. I think this is one of those situations where it's put pressure on Sony, and it's going to be a big thing for them moving forward. It doesn't matter what people say out there on the internet about, oh, Call of Duty's been down over the years, or it's not really my type of game, or stuff like that. Fanboys can fanboy the way they want, but Sony realizes that if Microsoft is doing this, in all reality, most of those games are not going to come to PlayStation moving forward unless they have Game Pass. Phil nailed that into the ground back in the day when we were talking about the Bethesda side of things. He said, if you're a gamer, I want you to know that we're going to bring these games to where Game Pass is available. Right? So yes. I think no matter how you cut it, Sony realizes the situation now, realizes that Microsoft is not playing around, and that there are going to be moves that they need to make. So whether they buy one of those right now, which again, Square Enix, Capcom, I could see that. But also, I would not be surprised if we saw Game Pass come to their system, and if they made some sort of deal where they got some sort of percentage off of the subscription, or however they do it. Obviously, it's going to be a tangled web, however they decide the monetary side of it. But I think it's not a matter of if anymore. I think it's a matter of when.
Yeah. Real quick, I got the stock information here. On Wednesday, they were at 127.40. And as of right now, they have dropped down to 110.04. That's a 13.6%.
Right. That's up since yesterday, right? All right. So they did actually drop 11 something, right? 11 close to 12, right?
No, 13%.
No, but the incline they were having plus that's a 13% down right there. If you sum it up, isn't it? Yeah, it's close to that. How about you, Joanna? I mean, what do we think about the PlayStation thing? I mean, what do you think is going to be the next move? I mean, what do you think they're going to buy? Are they going to bring Game Pass to the system? I mean, which, like I said, it could actually happen. They're talking about it. It's actually a good conversation to have, if they could talk about it behind doors. I remember one time Phil Spencer said, I mean, I hope that can happen, though. Didn't he say it one time? If I remember, like in an interview or something.
I mean, he always wants to make sure that, hey, if you log Game Pass, we'll put Game Pass.
Yeah,
that's been the key thing. I mean, if Sony came and Jim Ryan was like, hey, put Game Pass, you'll see Game Pass the next day. I mean, I think they need to get NAC 3. That's the first thing. NAC 3 is going to save them.
Why do you bring this hate? Oh my
No. Here's my thing, I don't think so. Here's my thing. I get it. Eventually, we're going to get some kind of, crossover kind of between the way that, Sony having their own service, Xbox having their own service. I don't want Microsoft to be PlayStation, and I don't want for PlayStation to be Xbox. I think they're gonna, continue to kind of go to the beat of their own drum. Of course, this has put a little bit of pressure on them, and I can see where maybe this accelerates day and date, and it can be day and date on PC, like Simon Cypher was saying, where now instead of, let's just say, people were saying, hey, 6 months down the road, you're going to see, for Horizon Forbidden West or whatever, God of War Ragnarok. Maybe that's a 3-month window. Or, if this Spartacus comes out, this, fabled service comes out, maybe them putting that to incentivize. Again, I think a lot of things with this acquisition has kind of speed up, but PlayStation's still going to be what they're going to do, which is bringing their experiences that they want to bring to their fan base, to their console. And there's still ways of them being successful. I mean, if you looked at it, right, even with this purchase, Microsoft is still number 3, right?
Yes.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
So
that's what they are after this.
It's kind of like this, right? It's, I love sports, right? And right now, look at the Los Angeles Lakers. They LeBron James brought Russell Westbrook and all these other people, Carmelo Anthony, all these stars, right?
Yes.
But look what it's translated to. Nothing but L's. They're not even doing what they projected. They look good on paper, but they didn't. But the output is not there. And I'm not saying that just because Microsoft. What I'm saying is, I get it, but you also can't count out someone that now is more, that makes Sony even more hungry, and vice versa. So they're gonna steady give you what they had. And to kind of put this in perspective, if you look at it, right, during the 360 PS3 era, towards the end of the generation, this is when Sony, just like Microsoft, came in and gave us The Last of Us, and they continued with Uncharted and all these experiences that then propelled them into the PS4 generation, where they had these games that they were just building up to combat the fact that Microsoft was coming as well. And what happened with the Xbox One, the story was Microsoft didn't have enough IPs that made, a lot of, hurrah, and didn't entice gamers. And it was PlayStation giving you month after month an onslaught of just amazing games. And reverse it again, going into this generation, they were at the top. They have established IPs. They try to get ahead by saying, hey, we have Spider-Man, we have Demon Souls, bringing back these experiences. But now they're going to put in the position of like, how fast can you make those games to catch up with the content that's Microsoft bringing? And what happens when the games that we keep hearing about all of a sudden, just like PlayStation did with a kind of a blitzkrieg, when you had Persona, you had all these other games come out back to back on month, Horizon Zero Dawn, all this. You have Starfield, Redfall, COD, all these games just month after month. You have to find other ways. So that means PlayStation probably going to make some nice more second party investments. They're probably going to still stick to their laurels of securing these timed exclusives, because these timed exclusives are kind of the way that it's given them time to try to retool, because they never had the infrastructure. And one point I wanted to bring out, right? I think Phil Spencer said this. Phil Spencer didn't invent subscriptions. He said it. Sony already had Gaikai with streaming. They already had remote play prior to that. It's the whole kind of like Apple, right? And Apple didn't invent a music disc. They took existing ideas, just like a cell phone, and they saw the things that didn't work, and they rebranded it. And so far, at the moment, Game Pass is a hit. But that doesn't mean that Game Pass, everything that they do is always going to stick and be things. And Phil Spencer said it. Hey, if Game Pass ends up being whatever, then we have to move on to the next thing that works. So that's what's going to happen. And what I like is, same thing. Microsoft said, you know what? We know PlayStation is going to do the same thing. It's just inevitable, right? It's just that now we can focus on what can we do next now to disrupt the market. Now that we had something that we did, and now PlayStation, whatever, Nintendo comes into the fold, whoever. What are we doing next to stay ahead of the game? And I think Sony's going to be fine. They have great
Yeah.
games coming right now, and hopefully we're gonna see. The thing is, Sony's messaging, but Sony has stuff that we don't know yet. It's their messaging, and hopefully with this, Jim Ryan and his PR team can be like, "Hey, let's get a clear and concise message to say, hey, don't worry about it. We understand things have changed. Let me show you what's coming to the platform now and what stuff you haven't seen in the future."
I mean,
So-
which is something that could happen, because we still don't know what's gonna happen. Still, we don't know. I mean, we don't know if Sony's gonna sit down with Microsoft and say, "Look, guys, we gotta talk about the COD, the COD thing. I mean, we still want COD to come over here. I mean, that could actually happen, because I mean, they can sit down. Sony and Microsoft can sit down and come to an agreement to keep COD to come up to their consoles. I mean, look at Minecraft. Minecraft is everywhere. Seriously, Minecraft is in your bathroom. Minecraft is in your toilet paper. Minecraft is everywhere, and it's owned by Microsoft.
I've never seen toilet paper Minecraft, but you're gonna have to show me.
Hey man, if I look for it, trust me, we're gonna find toilet paper Minecraft. No joke. That could actually come out. But really, it can happen though. I mean, if they sit down, I mean, they come into an agreement. I mean, you can still get COD and Sony, which I hope they do though, because it's actually a good thing. Because at the end of the day, all the companies need to make money. All the companies need to survive, so we can get games for us, which is something that we want, you know. And I'll tell you something though. For me, the next move wait, RD says here, Phil keeps saying the wants to grow in Japan. However, I still have not seen Japanese games, especially JRPG exclusively in Xbox. Like we had in 360 Blue Dragon.
I was
Here's my
actually
thing.
just responding to that, but
RD,
go ahead.
RD has a point, because I want a Blue
Yeah.
Dragon and a Lost
Yes.
Odyssey, and
Yeah.
there's Blue Sonata. Is it Blue Sonata or is it something Sonata? They had all these great RPGs.
Eternal Sonata.
Wasn't there?
Sonata, thank you.
Wasn't there a game for? Yeah, I think it's Lost Odyssey. Let me
Lost
look for it.
Odyssey, Eternal
Yeah.
Sonata, Blue Dragon. But here's the thing. I get it. They haven't got those personas. They haven't got the Final
That's the-
Fantasies. They haven't got a lot of niche games like Trails of Cold Steel for all these JRPG fans like myself. But if you've seen in Game Pass, though, those little niche ones are coming. Yuden Chronicles is basically the spiritual successor to Suikoden, and has people that made the game Suikoden that was originally on PlayStation 1, which is one of my favorite games, on there. You have Edge of Eternity on February 10th, which has been a game on PC for a while, and it's coming to Xbox February 10th, and I think is made by some Square developer. But yes, they do need to try to see if they can get those niche. I mean, we got Danganronpa. Yes, it's been on a play, but we got Danganronpa. For people who don't know Danganronpa, it's amazing. If you like those visual quirky styles, basically a bunch of kids in school with this bear, and you have to find out who killed somebody. It's wacky. I love it. Danganronpa is awesome. We've saw some games in there.
Yeah, there's an anime of that. It's great actually. And
But yes, we do need more JRPGs though.
yeah,
Yes.
adding to that, I was actually responding to him, but then I just erased it. They had done a great job too, bringing games that, for example, the Yakuzas, and things like that weren't, on the platform, and the fact that they lost so much market last generation, and they're not actually a Japanese company. It's very hard for them to break that break that door open. So they gotta know, take baby steps, and I guess they gotta look for a partner. Because they cannot just go. It's not as easy to buy a studio over there or to create a studio as it would be here on the western side.
Sauerbla, what I want to know, can you maybe tell me? Because I heard you hang out with people from Atlas. Can you tell me what the beef is? Did Phil steal somebody's girl? I mean, I don't know. What happened? Did somebody forget to pay the bill? Because there's a game called 13 Sentinels Aegis. Fantastic game. It's coming to Switch. But for some reason, Sakura Wars, all these Sega Atlas. There's some beef there, man. And I want to know how to squash it.
I think I saw a post today, but I don't remember where. So I can't know if it's fake or not. But it was that they are they're hiring someone that has experience. They're trying to hire someone that has experience working with Xbox development. So I don't know if this is true or not. So that might mean, that might be good news for the future.
Yeah, and on the subject that we were before, though, I want to tell you something, though. I have a prediction, and I think this is going to happen. I mean, this is a prediction that I have, and I think this is going to happen. I think Sony...
Call of Duty paper toilet.
You got the
No,
glove?
I need an Xbox soap. Seriously, Xbox needs to make... Oh, they
did
do have a
one. They had
soap.
the Halo one. You didn't get it?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I'm going to order it right now on Amazon, my Xbox soap. Oh, man.
They
I
have
can't
them.
wait to get it.
They were sold out.
Oh, yes. What?
They were sold out. They're hard to get. I mean, you're probably going to pay hand over fist for that. It
That
smells
was the
good,
one
though.
through. That was the one through Watch.
Albert and I had a conversation with Jasmine on the Nickel Gaming Show.
Yeah, I remember that.
When do you smell like Master Chief after you've been decked by Aatrox and smell like Funky, or do you smell like Master Chief after you beat the Banished?
I'm gonna get that.
Fresh.
I smell Banished.
I'm gonna get that so I can do my shower videos with my Xbox. Singing with my Xbox shampoo, singing all my awesome songs in the shower.
With all the
It'll be great because you shower like what 10 times.
I was gonna say,
and you're gonna go to watch Mav play Rainbow Six. And you're gonna shower while you're watching.
Yes, no joke. Right now, after I'm done with this, I'm gonna go take a shower because I gotta watch Mav in the shower. Yes, I gotta do that.
With all the showers that Crazy Lou takes, I think if Xbox catch up to that, they'll stop making games and they'll just sell soap
Crazy Lou Echo the Dolphin or something.
But on the subject though, this is a prediction that I have though. I think Sony is going to buy Square Enix. I think that move is going to happen pretty soon. We're going to hear that pretty soon. Why am I saying this? Because you remember Blue Point is it Blue Point Studios, right? Blue Point
is owned by them already. They purchased Blue Point.
But wait. Before that, Blue Point just made games for them, and all of a sudden
they were a porting studio. They made a lot of IPs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So all of a sudden they just went there and said, "Okay, guys, come on board," and they bought it. So I have this feeling though that they're actually going to buy Square Enix for themselves because the way things are going, I think that's going to happen, and I hope it does, which is a good deal before Tencent comes and grabs them.
Or Papa Phil comes in and puts a ring on it too. Yeah,
that too. But really, that's my prediction that Sony's going to do that, and we gotta wait for that awesome Spartacus to come out. We gotta see I hope they come out soon and make some announcements because really I want to see that tier 3, what's going to happen. Bring all those old IPs back. And yes, what Sour Blow said earlier, bring those games to PC day one. Yes. Do that. We got to make money. Come on.
I'm playing God of War.
God of War Ragnarok on PC.
Wow. That'll be amazing, man. That'll be amazing. Really. That would be pretty cool, man.
Did you guys see the trailer to Horizon Forbidden West today?
I'm trying to avoid it.
Looks amazing, and then just thinking about it on my PC or on a PC just makes me even. It's beautiful. Like the video today completely sold me even further on that game.
Oh man, I can imagine because
Angela Bassett is one of the enemies there, and what's the actress's name from The Matrix? Trinity.
Yeah. Oh, the actress name. I don't know.
She's also she's also in the game. Her and Angela Bassett are in the game. Yeah.
So does she go wake up samurai? Doesn't she say that now?
What are you talking about? That's a line from Cyberpunk.
I know, but since
they're not samurais, Lou. They're in a world with dinosaurs.
Oh man. I wish you could say that though.
I volunteered you for a fight, Silent Cypher. Sorry, Silent Cypher for a duel. A cooking competition.
Oh, a cook-off?
Oh, we're gonna have a stream cook-off?
Oh, we should do that. We should do a stream cook-off. I mean, oh man,
you know what? I want a paparazzi stream. Like kind of versus pictures.
I bet
we can't cook the puppies.
No, we're not
gonna. And I know someone who will join that cook-off. Caitlin will join that cook-off.
Yeah, that's what I said. Caitlin versus Silent Cypher. Because every time when I go to Twitter, Caitlin's always posting these incredible food that look delicious. And then Silent Cypher.
Those Reese's Pieces, apparently like chips they have somewhere. I've been trying to look for them. They're like potato chip Reese's Pieces. I want them.
Oh man, she said she was gonna send me a survival kit. I gotta send her my address. I need that survival kit.
Oh, he said, I don't want to
have it
embarrass
sent
him,
to my home.
guys. No, his food looks pretty good too. You should.
Oh, Silent
Yeah.
does a salmon that looks beautiful.
Oh,
I don't want to eat.
Cypher, she said she doesn't want to embarrass you, man. She says she wants to give you at least your street cred.
All right.
She says shipper ID doesn't count.
I think that Silent's wife is the one that does everything, and she takes pictures. Be like, yeah, that's me. That's me. doing
Yeah.
this." But anyways, guys,
Turn down a
So,
another-
one before we go, I know we talked about the Bobby Kotick thing, right?
Yeah.
But one of the things that I wanted to also highlight of that interview was he kind of talked about AI, technology and talent,
Yeah.
which we kind of covered. And one of the reasons he said they felt that was the right because Microsoft had the technology and basically the infrastructure to eventually do that. So it felt that was the way because we talked about in the Jeff Grubb one that it was, hey, they didn't have enough talent to meet the demands of what their titles. Because if you look at a lot of their titles are a lot of service games, Overwatch, StarCraft, esports, and all that.
remember that when we, like I said earlier, remember the Todd Howard interview. He actually said that the AI technology needs to advance a lot. It's a little bit behind. So that's actually when we were talking about the AI thing. I remember all that stuff that Todd Howard said in his interview. He said, seriously, the AI needs to go forward. And when you mentioned that after Microsoft bought it, he was talking about the AI. I was like, wow, maybe that's why Todd Howard came into this too, because I mean Microsoft is going to do something to advance the AI with those guys too.
Now, not to start controversy, and I want to know what's Silent Cypher. Listen to this from this interview by Danny excuse me. Danny, sorry, Takahashi. Excuse me. Look at me now. He said, and I'm gonna put it. I had it here right now, real quick.
If you
He
want,
said that even if they merge, even if they try to merge, it says even if we have consolidated within EA, that wouldn't have given us what we're going to need going forward. So you need to have a big partner in order to make able things. What do you think about that? Mind you, EA. Another big company, third-party company with so many studios and all this other technology. And he said that not even EA could provide what they thought they saw with Microsoft.
I think with a comment like that, it goes back to a lot of what we've heard over the last 24 to 36 hours. This was not a monopoly. There's a lot of fish in the sea still.
So Phil didn't come over there with a ring, put some baby powder, and be like, "Hey, Bobby, let's here, you're gonna sell me."
Hey, he may have, and I don't want to know about the details. But that being said, no, I think that definitely speaks to the skillful team that Microsoft has at this point, as far as the on-hand developers they have, along with the leadership. It's like, yes, EA could were EA in a situation to take them on and they consolidated, they could maybe make it work. But that being said, Microsoft has a bigger foothold at this point, just with how many developers they have, with how much money they have. They could kick the backing. They've got the support for the devs. I don't think EA could do that. EA is starting to kind of shift their focus again, but I don't trust EA's leadership as far as I can throw them, if I'm being honest. At the moment, some of the guys that are up there in the top, they amuse me in the fact that they're bringing back Skate, but I don't trust that they've changed their stance completely. I think they realized that they were caught flat-footed because of all the different decisions they've made, whether it be the microtransactions during FIFA or Battlefront, some of that stuff. And if they felt like they actually needed to make a few good consumer-friendly decisions like Dead Space Remaster, Skate, stuff like that, I just don't see any way that Actiblizz consolidation with EA would have worked out, though. Because EA doesn't show that they want to spend the money. They show that they want to reap the money, money, but they don't show that they want to put in the time and the money to actually make sure that the games come out the way they should be. That's all I got.
Yeah, crazy.
Oh, so you got? Oh man. So guys, I think we're at the end of the show. Right? I mean,
do you have any what you can do magic trick or something?
oh, I can do a bunch. I mean, I can start dancing if you all want to make it.
No, that's
No,
fine.
no,
That's
no,
fine.
no.
No, no,
I
no.
can dance. You
We're
know,
not-
jump
nope,
around.
Play
you know.
together.
You can save that for a different for your tweets. We
If
banned
you wanna, if you wanna, can sing for you. I can sing. And
no.
no,
No,
okay,
no.
It's okay.
Well, look, everybody just left already. The show.
So, guys, I mean, great show today. Have some fun today about this awesome acquisition talk. And yes, we're gonna still keep on bringing in the news because this thing is just starting to get what's it called, seasoning. So yeah, during the week we're gonna get.
January.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
it's only
January.
getting
Wow.
started.
It's only getting started, and already we got in Game Pass. We already got all these great games, and now we're getting acquisition talks again. Beginning of the year, that's amazing. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen next week. So, Sour Blow, tell everybody where we can find you, brother.
Well, you can find me here at YouTube. It's Sour Blow Gaming. Every Tuesday we have a Spanish-speaking podcast with Crazy Lou. We also got Jose King Cobra even there, even though he hasn't appeared in a long time, but he's still part of the team. Even Joanna sometimes hops in. You can say
Is
he's part
your
of the team.
freaking Coda like Star Citizen now?
Yeah, he's like Star Citizen. You can also find me on Twitter and on Xbox, my gamer tag, which is SourBlow18. So you can follow me there. You can hit me up if you want to play. You know, I'm down to play. And if you see me connected, unless it's my son play, if you see me playing like my son say, "Oh Halo," which is the Master Chief Collection, that means I'm playing with my son.
Yeah, right. We know it's your son that is playing Halo,
Yeah,
and playing
what that means
multiplayer,
is-
kicking butt.
What Sour Blow means, if you see a really good kill count, that's not him.
That's not him. Yep, that's what he means. Yeah,
Okay.
especially if he drives. If you see him driving really well in Forza, that's his son. That's not.
No,
him.
That's not him.
in Forza, definitely I'm horrible. I would admit that. Yeah, I'm horrible.
How about you, Silent Cypher? Where can everybody find you, brother?
Well, you can catch me on Twitter at Silent Cypher, and I'm on Xbox Live as Silent Cypher as well. The offer always goes out there. If you ever want to play some Forza, if you want to play some Call of Duty, whatever, or you just want to talk gaming, feel free to hit me up.
How about you, my brother, Joanna Dark? Where can everybody find you, sir?
You can find me in the metaverse. Nah. You can find me you can find me on Twitter. Always, trolling my arch nemesis, Crazy Lou. I'm big _N_boss. You can find me on there. I'm always happy to talk. Just, always having a good time. So if you want to definitely follow me, hit me up. I'm there. And then on Wednesdays here on Xbox International. And then on Fridays, our show goes the other show I'm on, the Nickel Gaming Show. I'm on there through the Nickel Gaming Show channel. My friend Albert and Jazz, we're there together talking of Xbox, of course. We're an Xbox-centric podcast with Xbox employees talking about why we love the ecosystem. And then, of course, I'm part of Double Barrel Gaming on the Xbox Factor podcast on Tuesday with Boom. And just for everyone that's here, we're trying to get Boom to 10K. So he is going to be giving away some 3 months of Xbox Game Pass if we can get to 10K by next week's episode.
Nice.
But thank you to everyone that came today. I appreciate it. And it's always a pleasure that we can have some people in the chat talking to us and continue to make this stream happen. Over to you, Crazy.
First off, I want to thank the chat. Really, guys, thank you all for coming in here. Thank you all for putting all your ideas in the chat. Really appreciate that you all came here on the show. Remember to hit the like, subscribe. Also hit the bell so it can tell you when the show comes on. Or I'm gonna do a video. I think it's gonna be out by this weekend, which I'm gonna do an unboxing of my Artist 9 headphones. So yeah, guys, hit that bell so you can watch that video. Another thing, I know this past 2 or 3 weeks we've been saying our prayers to Spooky, and we're actually really happy that Spooky
Yes.
Sprocket came out of that coma. I mean, seriously,
Oh yeah.
that was great news. I'm really happy that my brother Spooky came out of that coma. I mean, every night I sleep with him because over there in Australia is in the morning. He says hello, and every morning I wake up, he says hello to me right before he goes to bed. I mean, I miss my brother a lot, and I'm actually really happy that he woke up after his 2 week coma. Right? He's been 2 weeks in a coma.
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks.
What,
Yeah.
18 days? Yeah.
18 days, yeah, and I'm actually really happy he came out of it. So yeah, and I hope that they keep us updating from his status, because really, I just hope he does well, and best wishes to Spooky and his family. He deserves
Yeah,
the
no,
best.
I hope that he gets better. He recovers
Yes.
from this, and
Yes.
we can all celebrate by going over to Dark Wasteland and listening to him, which
Yeah.
that was one of my favorite things to do on a Saturday night. Spooky was
Yes.
an awesome dude, and I
Yeah.
want the day that he comes back and we have Spooky on there and just listening to him talking to somebody about their gaming journey.
Yeah, their
Yeah.
gaming journey. That's awesome. I mean, I love that show so much, and I can't wait to have him back.
Yeah.
But
It'd be awesome to
anyways,
have him on here too.
yes, we got to invite Spooky. I mean, if he everything goes
Yeah.
well,
Oh,
really got to invite.
dude, we got to make sure the minute he comes back, hey Spooky, we got to get you on XBI.
Yes,
I can't
we
wait
do.
to see what Sourblowt comes up with. Maybe puts a dingo for the actual Australia and everything like that, and puts a dingo in the baby, or Dunkaroos. There's some Dunkaroos. I know. That's it. We lost Australian subscribers.
Oh, crocodile! Put a picture of Crocodile Dundee. Yeah.
You know what?
Now we lost.
If you want to keep it gaming wise, Bio Billy.
Oh, Bio Billy.
Bio
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but
you
all
guys-
seriously, man, I hope Spooky,
Yeah.
recovers, and I
Yes.
can't wait to have him back in the community so we can all just kind of talk games and just overall just be here together as a collective, just kind of celebrating.
Yeah.
100%.
So, guys, to get the crazy one, you follow him on Twitter, where the crazy one is at Crazy Louis Gaming, where he showers, where he dances, where he sings. What else do I do? Where I wear white cream on my face and go, "Hello, Ponzo."
Why did you have a brief on your head? I want to understand that. Did you thought that was a chef's
Oh.
hat?
I don't want to understand that.
Oh, why did I have a brief on my head? I was actually dusting and I couldn't find my beanie. I need to buy a beanie. So yeah, I grabbed my big old tidy whities. They're like double XL. I don't know why it came in a package double XL. So I put it on my head and I wrapped it, like a wrap thing, and just chug it in there. And yeah, it worked for a beanie. So yeah, I was pretty much dusting, because remember the COVID thing, I had to clean up the room and stuff. So yeah, I just wrapped my head up.
Out of all the things that you had in your home, that's the one thing that you can only use for your head.
Yes, that's the only thing. Yes, I mean
Why are
seriously.
you dusting with your head?
No. I don't know though.
Who's the voices?
That's a good question though. And now I'm thinking about it. When the hell did I put it on? Because I mean, oh yeah, it's because of the sweat. I just put it on because of the sweat. Yeah, I was
Sounds like a question for another show.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
So,
crazy
guys-
after dark when nobody even watches. Louis Max.
I also sing it. Did I mention I sing in the shower? Yes, I sing in the shower and also do awesome promos to all these great shows. That's what I do on my Twitter account, and also Crazy Louis Gaming here on YouTube. Follow this channel, which is I am an Xbox International, every Wednesdays at 7 p.m. ET. And on Tuesdays, I'm with my brother, that handsome guy over there who shaved his head, which we used to call Peluca back in the day. I'm with him every Tuesdays in the Spanish channel at 7 p.m. ET over there in Sourblowt Gaming. And
Because he played with Game Pass, he got a haircut.
yes, it's incredible. I mean, Phil buys Activision, he takes his head off. I mean, his wig off. That's incredible. What Phil Spencer can do.
A new shirt. Silent Cypher gets, a stream deck. We're all reaping the benefits of Activision and Game Pass.
So, guys, remember before I go, the crazy one saying is, let's go. Let's rock. And let's get crazy. Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the XBI Podcast. Please make sure to like and subscribe on the way out. We'll see you next time.